Here we are in the kitchen, guys. We got two prime briskets sitting here behind me, one at 15 pounds, one right at 17 pounds. We're gonna go ahead and get these all trimmed up nicely and get them ready for that 26-inch Weber kettle using that brand new fire dial that I got. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get these briskets trimmed up here. Just a light Worcestershire binder on here. Not necessary, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it just to help seasoning stick a little bit better. Okay, we have our house-made seasoned salt, 16 mesh black pepper, heavy base coat, followed by our house-made seasoned salt. Give her a flip. Just a little bit of some of that W sauce, some of that 16 mesh black pepper. Get our second brisket in here. All right, guys, we're gonna get our Weber 26-inch here fired up, and we are going to be running this Low and Slow by Kingsford that I picked up on sale for like less than $3 at Home Depot. Never used it before, so we're gonna give it a shot. And then we got some pecan wood chunks by Weber there. Let's go ahead and get her fired up. Now we got that set up as what I like to refer to as the lazy man snake method. So we're just gonna go ahead, get some of our pecan wood chunks out here. I'm hoping I don't have to refill that. We need the star of the show, a fire dial. I have never used this before. All right, now that we know everything fits, let's go ahead and pull this back up. All right, guys, as you can see behind me right here, we got our 26-inch Weber kettle getting lit. We got our lazy man snake method all set up. We got some pecan wood chunks in place there. Once this does what it's supposed to do and those coals get nice and ashed over in that one spot, we're gonna go ahead and put our fire dial back on. Never used it before. I'm excited to give it a shot. I'm actually going to do two fairly large size briskets on this Weber 26-inch. Never done it before, but that is the reason I got this fire dial, is so I could do full grate, indirect, smoking low and slow with two big packer sized briskets that I'm doing today. So let's check it out and let's see if this works. Let's hope so, because I got a bunch of people to feed. All right, guys, we're gonna start shutting this down, get this fire dial in place. Yep. Brisket number one. Man, that is a 15 pound. Look how much room we still got. It's a good thing, because now we got the 17 pounder coming. And there you have it, guys. We got about a ½ inch between both briskets. Two pretty good size. We got 17 pound starting weight, 15 pound starting weight. We did not do a super aggressive trim on either one of these, so we probably took only a couple pounds off of each at best. Now we go ahead, lock in the lid. Almost forgot our Pitmaster snacks. Even though we are going to be running our chef's temp, let's go ahead, what grate level temp looks like on this during our cook. All right, now let's get her shut down. Right now we got it wide on the bottom. All right, we'll come back and check on this in about 2 hours. All right, guys, we've been running these briskets right at 2 hours now. Let's take a look. We're gonna give them a little bit of a spritz. Remember, this is a lot like running direct heat because that fire dial deflector is only a couple inches under the brisket, and that's hot. So we may, as we watch this, flip these briskets a lot like I do sometimes when I'm running briskets on a drum. Considering we've only been running these for 2 hours, color's looking really good. We're not running any probes in this meat yet. We don't know what the internal temp is. We really don't care. We're only 2 hours in. Probably will put a probe in the next couple, 2, maybe 3 hours. We are running this 26-inch kettle right at 255 degrees. All right, guys, so here we are, right at 4 hours into this cook. Now we're gonna go ahead and take a peek, see what these things are looking at, see if we need to move anything around. I think we might do a little flippy floppy between briskets, move them areas, flip directions. We got one brisket that's running about 10-12 degrees warmer than the other as far as their internal temperatures. So we'll probably just take those briskets, swap positions, and get that lid shut back down as quickly as we can so we can let this thing to continue. So let's take a peek underneath the lid and see how these briskets are doing. Ooh-wee. Look at that. That color, that bark is setting up nice. Got our little extra brisket trim pieces here. Those are looking good. I think we'll probably be wrapping those. Got a lot of moisture coming out of this one. This one's further along than this one is. This one's only running about 140 degrees internal, and this one's running like 152, 153. So you can see it's pushing out more moisture. I did go ahead and add my ThermoWorks RFX probe so we could monitor. And I got my ThermoWorks Great Temp. We've been running right about 240 degrees at the Great Temp. Listen to this sizzle. All that fat dripping on that fire dial. Gonna swap that around. Got some crispy edges there a little bit. Swap this one. Okay, we're gonna shut this lid down, but we are gonna do a little bit of wrapping. We're gonna wrap these pieces. We're gonna wrap some of these darker edges. Let's come back and take care of that. All right, let's get some of these tips wrapped up. Corners, so they don't get too crispy. We can see our fire going over here, so we know exactly where our fire's at. Let's get these ones wrapped up. All right, we got both of our brisket pieces here wrapped into one foil that we're just gonna go ahead and drop right over here. Got her shut down. We'll check on her in another hour. All right, guys, we've been rolling smoke on this 26-inch Weber kettle using this fire dial for the last 6.5 hours. Look at that bark really starting to darken up there and look nice. We got some pooling here. That's mostly because of the uneven trim on this one. It started ugly. It will probably end ugly, but this one, this is our showpiece right here. But both of these are gonna taste amazing nonetheless. So we're just taking a look here. I don't think anything needs to be spritzed really. We're not getting too crispy on the edges. Very happy with that. We've definitely hit the stall because these came up to about 150 to 153 and then dropped down to about 145 actually, which is hitting the stall much sooner than typical. But that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We're gonna roll with it, but we want these to come out of the stall, at least get closer to that 160 before I wrap these. I usually, on my offset smokers, wait until I'm in the mid 170s or even 180s to wrap. But with these being on a direct heat situation, we'll probably wrap these up a little earlier, but we'll play it by ear and check on these in another hour and see where we're at. Ooh-wee. All right, guys, we're another hour in. Time to just take a look, see how we're doing. Give these briskets a little tip. Reposition these a little bit. Our heat source is now on this side of the cooker. We're just gonna give these a little rotation. You can see that's our pretty brisket right there. There's our ugly brisket. In the end, they're both gonna taste amazing. I only did half a ring on this instead of a full ring or 3/4 of a ring. So we might have to add some charcoal, but we'll see. Right now, these briskets are temping internal right at about 150 degrees, so we're just gonna let them continue to rock. All right, guys, so we're back. We're sitting right at 8.5 hours on these briskets on this Weber 26-inch kettle, and we're temping right around the 165, 168 range on both briskets, depending on where I temp them at. I'm good with that because I like the color of the bark. So we're gonna go ahead and pull these off. We're gonna get them wrapped, but we're not gonna put them back on the kettle. No, we're gonna cheat code this one. Because we got all the smoke we need, we got all the color we need, we got the bark that we want. We're gonna put it in our pellet smoker, finish it off there. No reason to waste charcoal, no reason to waste any more wood. Let's check out these briskets. All right, guys, here we go. Oh, looky, looky. All right, let's go ahead and get these off, get them over there so we can get them wrapped. All right, as you can see, we already put down some of our beef tallow here. That's beef tallow that we rendered on our last cook. Pull this off for a minute. Man, that has such a beefy charcoal smell. Moisture, a little bit more of this beef tallow. We will win. One brisket paper wrap done. We're gonna set this over here. Now let's grab some more paper. The tallow in the paper. She's a beauty. This is why you should always wet your paper first. Much better wrap results when you do that. I'm a big fan of foil boating, but this is my traditional brisket wrap method. Paper wrap, foil boat. The foil boat is gonna help save my awful paper wrap job. It's gonna make this much tighter. Like I said, that's gonna help salvage that awful wrap job I did with the paper. Help hold it nice and tight. Plus it's gonna also capture any of the moisture, juices that get lost from the paper into that foil as well. Set this aside and grab the other one. The ugly brisket definitely got the better wrap job. Let's get this on the pellet smoker. We're running this Grilla Mammoth vertical pellet smoker at 275 degrees. We have a pork butt finishing off in here still. All right, now we'll go ahead and get this shut down. We'll check on them when they get probe tender. My guess is somewhere around that 200 degree mark, but we will find out. All right, guys, so there we have it. It's been 11 hours since we put these briskets on our 26-inch Weber kettle. We ran them all the way to about the 168 degree mark internal. We were happy with the bark. We wrapped them in paper and foil boated them. Threw them into our Mammoth vertical smoker by Grilla Grills. Now we got them resting here just for a few minutes on my counter while my warmer heats up, which is set to 150 degrees. And we're gonna go drop both of these briskets into my warmer overnight, let them rest, and then tomorrow we're gonna come back, we're gonna slice into these, and we're gonna see how we did. All right, guys, this is next morning. Our briskets have been resting in our warmer at 150 degrees overnight. It's actually been right at about 11 hours. So they were 11 hours on the smoker, 11 hours in the rest. Let's go ahead and pull them out of the warming cabinet. Let's get them sliced into, see how we did. All right, guys, so we got our briskets pulled out of the warmer where they've been resting for 11 hours. Flat portion of this, look how juicy that is. No board mop on that whatsoever. That is clean cut. Very, very juicy. Let's get a slice of this flat. See how we did. Tender pull, exactly what we want. Can see all that fat rendered, that caramelized yellow look up top. That's just gonna melt in your mouth when you bite into it. Is she tender? I'd say so. We just got our briskets out of the warmer. We got them all sliced up and chopped. We started out with a 15-pound raw brisket and a 17-pound raw brisket. After we got them all sliced up, chopped, and put in our vacuum seal packages, we ended up with right at 15 pounds of chopped and sliced brisket. We got them vacuum sealed. We put them in the refrigerator where they're gonna sit for the next couple of days because we're taking them up north to our company camping trip where we're gonna feed about 75 people. We also did a few pork butts and we got about 15 pounds of cooked pulled pork for this weekend as well. So the next time you see me, we'll be up north in the pine trees enjoying the cooler weather, and we'll let you guys check out what everybody thinks of the food. See you in a couple days. All right, guys, there we have it. That's a wrap on this cook. We started out with 2 good-sized briskets that we picked up and we smoked on our 26-inch Weber kettle. Cooked those long and slow over some charcoal, some pecan wood. We let them rest for close to 12 hours. We vacuum sealed, sliced, put it away in the refrigerator, brought it up here to this event that we catered. We sous vide these briskets for 8 hours today, along with 3 good-sized pork butts. My wife put together some killer mac and cheese and some pork and beans, and we just served up about 75 people with some banging barbecue. The Weber 26-inch kettle using that fire dial did not disappoint. That thing was incredible. It was easy to use. It maintained temps like the Weber kettle always does. But being able to use as much cooking surface as we did on that kettle was a complete game changer. I love my slow and sear. I love banking coals to one side, but setting it up with that snake method, using that fire dial, and just letting it rip at 250 degrees for the entire cook, sous videing these meats, the proteins, turned out great. Everything was super juicy, super tender. Flavors were on point. Everybody raved about it. Everybody loved it. I am not disappointed. You should definitely dive into the fire dial because I think it's worth every penny if you're looking to use more of your grate, whether that's on a 22-inch kettle or a 26-inch like the one I got here. Until next time, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and stay connected for more cooks just like this one. Thanks a lot. We'd love the support.